Alrighty, we're ready.
All right, greetings and welcome to the Cannabis Task Force. This is our November meeting. Just to let everybody know, some housekeeping items. The Manhattan Community Board 4 has adopted a hybrid policy that can be found on our website. And in case you're not understanding what that is, that means that we have the ability for folks to be participating online or here in person. For members of task force that are participating remotely, they will be able to still participate, but they will leave their cameras on. The meeting is streamed live on YouTube and it is being recorded. So what we say here lives on forever. Just keep that in mind. All right, we have two items on the agenda this evening. First one may sound slightly familiar to most of us on the task force, as they actually were here for a different license. This is 510 West 27th Street, which is operating as a micro business and is now before us to propose adding retail on site. So welcome, Luke.
Hey, everybody.
Just for those that have not heard about you or know who you are or what you do, if you can give us a little background on the business that exists, and then let us know what you're looking to do moving forward.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me back. My name's Luke Atterbury. I was here quite a few months ago, earlier in the year, presenting. This is the same license, but I was presenting for the cultivation, processing, and distribution aspect of it. So now I'm back to present hopefully a favorable presentation for the retail portion. Since then, a lot has happened. I'm actually sitting in the facility now. I'll give you guys a quick visual if you could see it. And so this is directly below the proposed retail location. Where we'll be making our chocolates, gummies, and other craft products, hopefully for sale upstairs. Some quick history on myself. I've been in Chelsea for a little over a decade now. In this building, I had an e-commerce operation running for 5 years. And then after that, I worked as in the traditional space, or the legacy space as a bike messenger in Manhattan. And then more notably, I've built out retail stores in Washington, D.C. for a group, in the medically licensed space, as well as the I-71 compliant space. But I applied for this license the first week that it opened in 2023. In July it was approved, and so it's been kind of a dream come true to be able to build this out for myself. I'm looking forward to it, and I'm happy to answer any questions that the board or the public might have.
Well, I think if you could just give us a little bit of sense of what you're looking to do retail-wise.
Absolutely.
And the specifics about the chocolates and gummies,
Yes,
etc.
happy to share, and thank you. So what's unique about the micro business license is, we are allowed to, or actually only allowed to sell products that we produce. And so I've set off for the past 5-6 years designing these craft products. I have a few in front of me. This is a chocolate bar that we do that are kind of select spectrum, low dose products. These are the bonbon packaging that we have. And so this will be a very small retail presence upstairs. The location 510 West 27th Street is right across from the Casman Gallery, the main Casman Gallery, and it'll be quite literally a hole in the wall. I watched last month's board meeting, and this will be even smaller than that store. And so we'll be selling our craft products that are made, in Chelsea, I think it'll be a nice aesthetic to match the neighborhood. 27th Street between 10th and 11th Avenue has, we were hesitant at first because there's such little foot traffic relative to 10th Avenue itself. But I'm eager to be able to get these products direct to consumer. So we're going to give it a try.
Couple questions, because obviously the micro and the pot producing does not require, since you're not facing the public, the security measures, etc. So what have you been doing in order to ensure that you're compliant in the space that you're using above that basement area?
Yeah, so I'm very familiar, with security regulations in our downstairs processing and cultivation space. We have a security system in place. You see one camera behind me. And then for the retail portion of the space, we'll have security on site as well as cameras and checking every box that the OCM requires as far as safety and security. And yeah, did that answer the question? I'm happy to answer anything else too.
I'm sure that the rest of the task force members have additional questions, but one last question for me, in terms of, staffing. It sounds like you're describing like your one-man show, but I'm just curious, whether or not you will have additional staffing.
Yeah, for the retail portion, we'll have three people at all working hours in the store. So yeah, it'll be a small operation, but say maybe medium is the right word.
Thank you. Alan, you had a question?
Lucas, welcome back. Great to
Thank
hear
you.
doing well. What sort of signage downstairs?
Downstairs, we have no signage at this time. For the upstairs retail portion, there'll be like a 1 foot cylindrical sign on the on the brick facade of the building, but it'll be very small and low key. Really kind of one of the angles that I'm trying to, one of the main reasons I'm putting this effort into this location, even though there's very little foot traffic, is the OCM won't allow me to do delivery unless we have retail presence. And as you guys know, retail presence is getting harder and harder to find. So this will be, even though it's a tiny little retail location with not much visibility, hoping to be able to digitally do some marketing and promote our delivery as well as small retail presence upstairs.
So does OCM need to okay your signage?
That I do not know the direct answer to. I will find out. Likely yes, but I do not know, to be honest.
I'm just curious. All right, thanks. Thank you.
Thank
Good
you.
luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Tina? Oh, sorry.
I am curious, considering it is in an area that has lower foot traffic. Do you have plans? Can you share your plans as to how you will market where you will market your business?
Absolutely.
To get more foot traffic.
So over the years, working in New York, I've amassed a significant email database that I'll be using, as well as Google Ads. Really depend. As you guys know, legislation's changing rapidly as far as what what kind of advertising's allowed. So hopefully by the time we launch, we'll be open to some digital advertising primarily. Google Maps, Apple Maps. And the email list, I think, is a big asset that we'll be using as well. And social media.
It sounds like you're quite familiar as to places you should not go to market.
Absolutely, yes. I've been following, very carefully. It's exciting to see these new advertising guidelines be released, but it's changing constantly. So we'll remain flexible and compliant. More importantly.
Just piggybacking on Tina's question, so is your objective here is that you will be able to have more of an online presence for your sales as opposed to having people lining up down the block trying to get some chocolates?
Well, ideally, both, I guess, would be the honest answer. But without that digital presence, likely no one's going to know we're here, just based on how the neighborhood, the block is laid out between 10th and 11th Avenue. The High Line only has access 1 block north and 1 block south from us, so it is a nice and peaceful block. But yeah, we're really going to have to lean heavily on digital marketing.
Thank you. Rodney, you had some questions? Oh, sorry.
Sure. Yeah, I guess point of fact for the committee, I apologize, my fault. I'm realizing now, Luke did fill out the application, our application, and I didn't realize it just didn't make it into the Dropbox.
Oh, I thought he did.
No, he did, and Luke has been very upfront and getting stuff to me. I just noticed it just didn't make it in, so I just dropped it into your Dropbox. So I understand it's real time looking at it, but
Thank you.
it wasn't that Luke didn't fill it out. That I just didn't.
Oh, thank you for letting us know that.
Okay.
Rodney?
So, as you live around the corner, so were you able to post the signage? I passed there today and I did not see the signage on the door. There are a lot of signs on the door.
I did post it on Thursday, and I took pictures on my phone. Both on the adjacent lamppost and the front door under the green awning.
So can you describe how they will come into this building?
Absolutely. So when you walk up under the green awning, on the right-hand side in the lobby is where it's going to be a tiny, like 5 by 10 storefront with, unfortunately, there'll be no windows, or for better or for worse, I guess, there'll be no windows. So they'll have to walk up the stairs, those steel stairs under the green awning, and make a right, and that's where our small storefront will be.
Sure. And how do you envision your delivery working? Where would the delivery guys be?
So basically, we'll have a rack behind the counter to the right of the entrance, where delivery guys will just come in and out. At the time being, and depending how the legislation is, it'll likely be bike messengers, or delivery vehicles. They'll just be going in and out, being handed off orders that way.
I did have another question about this. Oh, what have you done within the neighborhood? I'm sorry, have you talked to the hotel, the building across the street?
I do, I'm good friends with Cypher next door, Alameda, as well as across the street. I've just out of I guess just passion, have shared the vision with them. Other than across the street at Ovest and next door at Hotel Alameda, I haven't shared as much, because retail, as of right now, we're just a cultivation, processing, distribution space. But at least our direct neighbors are aware of the intention of retail and are excited about it. And I've given them samples, which they were excited about as well. And they received them kindly.
Thank you.
So, just to clarify, I believe you've already stated this, Luke, but, you will only be selling products that you are creating, is that correct?
That is, I believe, how the micro business is required to operate at this time. I'm not too sure. That may change in the future, but at this time, I believe that is what is required. Yes.
Great, thank you. Okay, Sanford, did you have any questions?
I had a few questions, but I was gonna ask about hours, but I do see that in the, yeah.
Well, happy to, since none of us got to see it, can you read it out
Oh,
loud?
yeah, 10 AM to 10 PM.
Correct.
7 days,
Yes.
Okay,
which I think is pretty standard.
Yeah.
did you have any other questions?
No,
I honestly, my thought here is operating, if there's an operation already happening, I haven't heard any concerns or issues with the fact that they're producing it. Chocolate seems pretty harmless in general. If you're only selling your products, there's not that rush as there might be in other locations for folks crowding there. You have an opportunity probably to advertise online in the future, which means it doesn't seem to me like it would be much of a disruption to this very quiet block. But any other thoughts that differ from that? You know the block past Rodney, so we're kind of all of us, so.
I mean, it's not very residential. There may be one building, residential building there across the street.
Okay,
But what else can we expect? So we saw you in March of
Mhm.
this year. We're seeing you again, November. Anything else? Any other future expansions? we can
As of now, up to this point, I'm entirely self-funded, so I've been kind of just growing in phases. This is phase one is just beginning. Phase two, hopefully expand our flower room, and then phase three, use the full 3,500 square foot canopy for cultivation that the license allows. But this has all been kind of bootstrapped by myself, so I'm moving slowly. But ideally, we'll be able to crank out the maximum amount of output that the license allows, have them direct to consumer upstairs, and then also wholesale and distributed to other stores around the city and around New York. That's the goal at this time.
great. Of course you can, Justin.
Lou, just so we understand, because this is a different process than we normally have. So are you to get this, would you need to go in front of the Cannabis Control Board and have this approved, similar to like a standard dispensary?
So,
Or,
sorry to cut you off if I did. So the license is already approved, which allows for the cultivation, processing, distribution, which we're already doing, and then retail and delivery. I think with a positive vote and I guess a letter of approval, then it goes in front of the Cannabis Control Board, who will then give the green light to do retail upstairs, as far as my understanding goes.
okay, so it does need a review and a vote.
Yeah,
Approval from the
And
board.
not,
Okay.
not to confuse or muddy it up, but we were actually on the proximity protection map originally last year. And then we're not on it currently. And when I was emailing them, they said I need to present to Community Board 4, and hopefully they'll put me back on sooner than later.
Okay, that's just helpful to understand. Thank you.
Thank you.
And we know that's a moving target anyway, so hopefully it
Fingers
stays.
crossed.
Yes, hopefully it stays as they've explained it to you.
Yeah,
Okay,
great.
so do we have yes, Tina? Motion?
To approve.
Oh, motion to approve. Does that have a second? Alan, second. Okay, all those in favor? Okay, Luke, pretty simple. Good luck. And you have some fans in the audience here, so good luck.
Thank you, everybody,
and,
so much.
I hope that it works out for you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Okay. Next on the agenda, we have in person, Danny, who we've seen before many times virtually under Mojo, Working LLC, presenting for a different location than we've heard previously. This is 653 9th Avenue, and Danny, can you please remind me that's between what and what?
This is in 45th and 46th Avenue.
Okay, 45th and 46th. Okay, thank you. Okay, Danny, where's the best place for Danny to stand?
I mean, if he wants to, you can sit too, there's chairs right there. No, at the table, if you want to stand, that's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so before we were doing 650. 650 9th Avenue, and now we're doing 65 across the street. So basically, so last time we got the approval for the recommendation. So my name is Dan Cogan. I'm representing Mojo Working LLC. Basically, it's over 1,000 foot. It's over 1,000 foot in a local now. Basically. I'm working with area, I do the Red Cross, I own phone out people. And I'm a 20-year experience in healthcare. The role of is, I'm always nervous, but in front of the camera, I have a lot of experience in retail, in healthcare, and I did the OCM for the SDS, in the school, involved in, I still go and learn. So this is really quite nice. There's really, we're gonna have the POS system, it's gonna have vapes, we're gonna do gummies, we're gonna do flour, we're gonna do pre-rolls. The store's gonna be open from the hours. Sorry.
Okay, take your time.
Okay, so we're gonna have 5 full-time, 3 part-time employees. Manager and 2 security guards. The hours are gonna be from 8 AM to 12 PM, 12 AM, Monday to Sunday, 7 days a week. What else? We're not gonna do consumption lounges, but that's not legal. We're gonna do deliveries, we're gonna help with customers. We're gonna have a messenger route, to help the customers. Everything is regulated to OCM compliance. Basically. And, that's it.
All right, well, so you have presented us before, I believe that,
Yes.
when we last spoke, we're familiar with the fact that you've taken a lot of courses, that you're really working
Yes.
hard to open up a location.
For 2 years.
You've been partnering with, different folks in order to, find someone with a
I'm
license.
still waiting for my license too.
Right.
I'm still getting my license, so pending from the November queue.
I just want to remind everyone, I think if I recall, because you've come to us many times.
Yes.
And
This
initially,
is my area, this is my heart here.
Right.
You know, that's why I never leave this area, this is where my heart is in.
and I, just to remind everyone, I believe that, we had concluded that the location was the concern for the last one that Danny came, which was on 42nd, it was very close to a spot that had a few social services. And that was really our primary concern and had nothing to do with what you.
And that's why we're down and going,
Yeah.
I understand that.
So you found another location, great, so I just want to remind everybody that, questions?
Did we? Also apply for a location that was across the street from this, right?
At one time.
Yeah.
Okay, and what happened to
And,
that location?
well, I saw this one, the bubble tea guy was leaving between side, I inquired the bubble tea in March.
But what did you get a license for the other
We
location?
were changing over, we would change, well, to have two licenses, so I'm still waiting for mine. So it's still pending.
So,
I'm sorry, so for clarity on that, so 650 9th Avenue is. Well, I know we recommended approval for it.
Yes,
So you-
on the Belrose migrant,
Okay, and so that was approved by OCM,
I'm still waiting, it's still pending. It's still
Okay.
pending. It's
so that's still
pending.
pending,
It's
so
still
it's not
pending.
operating.
It's not, it's still
Okay.
pending, it's
Okay.
still pending.
Okay, so. And you're the majority holder in the Belarus,
100% owner,
and you're the minority holder in
Yes.
this
yeah,
across the street.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you were the
That is
majority holder in this, you would not be able to have
That
two,
is correct.
right, so. Okay,
yeah.
so if we were,
Could
okay,
they even both be approved
They could be approved,
But-
but the
but,
qualifications.
with the
no,
proximity?
No, they can't be
No,
approved.
no.
Okay, so you're hedging your
That's why I
bets.
was looking at the other location. On the
I think you
323.
said exactly what's going on.
Okay,
yes,
So I mean.
And that's why I had the lease honestly, since March.
Yeah, we have that in the.
Yeah.
So basically, if we're understanding correctly, is as you described, this is your area, you're very passionate about
I'm
the
very
area.
passionate.
And it sounds like you're also very passionate about getting into this industry.
I am.
So you're looking at all different avenues. I think the last time, if we look back at the video, you remember that Danny was describing that he had partnered with someone who had a license. And
Yes.
that was how he was able to apply for that other place as well. So I think the reason why there's some confusion is most people that have come to us are single person majority, or either they're representing the majority,
I think my lawyer was.
Oh,
here too, but I don't know. how-
Is that your lawyer there? Yeah.
Oh, okay, still on good, okay, good.
you want me to bring them over?
If you want.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
it's your,
It's
your bill.
No, we should, we
is
should.
it Alex? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. He's been waiting since 6:30.
Oh, well, it's not that late. Alex, you just didn't allow to talk?
Should be there, ask them to come on over.
Okay. Hi there, do you go by Alex or Alexander?
Hello, good evening. Alex Tickton. I'm here on behalf of Mojo Working LLC, represented by Stephen DeLucia, 51%, and Mr. Danny Kogan, 49%. Mr. Kogan will speak as to the business plan. I'm here with respect to the lease.
Great, oh, okay, so, explain to us you were about to mention the lease, explain to us what the issue is there.
So, well, yeah, I had the lease in March 20th. And then we revised it back in October 1st. And we have full control, I have the keys, We have full control of the lease, basically.
I'm confused, what does that mean? We have no control over.
No, we have full control.
Full control.
We have full control of the lease. I have the keys, I have full control of the lease. Meaning that I have Verizon, I have Verizon in there, I have internet in there, I have, Cannabis in there, and I have the bills all under my name. The bills are under my name, I'm paying the bills, and they're all under my name. I've got a live company in there, everything on my name, I have the keys. And yeah.
Okay, just for clarity, I know you explained this before, but there's a place across the street, you also have to lease there.
I was supposed to sign a lease, but because
it
in
not-
March, no,
Okay,
I
so that
let
place-
that go and get
Yes,
started. Yeah,
Okay. Okay, all right.
and then that's why I had checks in March, that I don't know if you remember, I quoted checks in March. That
Now- In terms of the security, in terms of employees, you're gonna. Since you're here for the one before, is it the exact same sort of situation?
yes, it's all gonna stay the same, like I explained to just in March, that my employees are gonna be the same. We're gonna have employees from the community, we're gonna hire everybody from the community. And we wanna keep everything from the community.
Are you from the community?
I actually work in the community,
Where you work in the community, but you work outside of the community?
understand
How long have you worked in the community?
all the time.
So if you recall, he has the Cohen's Optical on 42nd Street.
Right.
And I do the volunteer in the,
At the Red Cross.
at the Red Cross and Tenth Avenue, in Fulton.
So we've seen Danny mostly on video.
This is the first time I came, I figured I'll come introduce myself, I've never been here.
So what we're understanding.
And I also developed the other PRC on the 22nd Street and Third and Seventh Avenue. For the
So,
homeless folks.
so from what we understand, you just answered Tina, is that the method of operation that you are proposing for this site at 653 9th Avenue, which is across the street from the 650. But also, what you had proposed when you were proposing on 42nd Street, that method of operation is exactly the same. So
That
you
is-
plan to operate the same,
Yeah.
it's just now this is a new location. Okay, that's helpful. Any other questions? Okay, we have the members from the public that would like to speak. Did either of you? Members of the public. wish to
Speak on this time?
Sure, yes.
Okay. You can tell us-
Good evening. Good seeing you guys again. My name is Hamid Michael Ardebili, and I'm strongly opposed Mojo Working LLC request for 653 9th Avenue. I am the licensed operator for this location. Through SOS Pro Services Corp., I received the PCA waiver on October 6, 2025. I think I explained to Mr. Jesse Bodine at the time, even though the local map said is 1,011 feet away, somehow, OCM find out that it could be shorter, and we didn't find out it is shorter, or if it's not shorter, like, up 3 months later. I received the PCA waiver on October 6th, 2025. And my final license on October 8th, 2025, both tied specifically to 653 9th Avenue. Mr. Hogan was at the OCM meeting when my PCA waiver was approved for 653 9th Avenue. I have long-standing ties to the neighborhood, and every local elected official continues to support my business at this location. On August 21st, my landlord illegally locked me out without any notice or legal process. I immediately filed a civil court, and I'm actively litigating to assert my rights. During the case, the landlord produced a second lease signed October 21st with Cannabis NYC after my PCA approval and after my license was issued. Then on October 31st, an attorney for Mojo Working LLC appeared, claiming they also have lease for the same property. There is no legal basis for this action. I remain the lawful tenant and my license is legally tied to this address. And also I'm on the map, local proximity, I have the proximity. Any approval for Mojo Working LLC tonight could be used in court to wrongfully suggest they have local support for a location already leased and licensed to me. Given my active lease, my PC approval, my final license, and the ongoing legal proceedings, it would be inappropriate for the board to endorse another applicant for the same address. I respectfully ask the board at this time to decline to take action on this application.
Okay, so
Thank you.
just to remind everyone, I'm sure you recognize the gentleman, he was here, we actually approved his license, or we approved to apply for the license. I think, as you were just describing in your statement, you were informed that there was a possibility that there was an issue of there being another dispensary within 1,000 feet. He chose, as he was mentioning, to file for the waiver. So he filed for the waiver and it was granted.
I have no choice.
Right, no, and
I
that's,
have no choice but to ask for a waiver.
but that's not a criticism,
I
that's just
understand.
explaining,
I
so that's why we haven't heard back from him that he had a waiver for this distance. We just heard, Danny here saying that it's more than 1,000 feet, but that's not the issue here. The issue here is that we have in front of us two people that are applying for the same location. We've already given approval for this location to the applicant here. So I'm assuming as the representative that you wanted to make a statement on this?
Yes, good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, good evening. Alex Tickton with Tartar, Krinsky and Drogan for Mojo Working LLC, Danny Kogan and Stephen DeLucia, the license holders. This panel needs to be aware of a critical fact. The possessory right that was referred to by SOS Pro Services has been dismissed by Justice Jeffrey Zellin of the New York Civil Court. This matter has already been litigated. His case was dismissed. SOS Pro Services, they surrendered their lease multiple times. That evidence was presented to the civil court, state of New York. And on November 14th, the court entered an order dismissing their petition. They have no possessory right. The landlord signed a lease with Mr. Kogan's entity specifically because the prior tenant had surrendered. They weren't paying rent. They weren't in possession. They weren't utilizing the space. And they had formally demanded surrender of the premises through counsel. Since this petition has already been dismissed by an acting civil court judge, it's plainly improper for this community board to consider SOS Pro Services as the current tenant of 653 9th Avenue. If necessary, we can provide copies of any documentation, including the civil court's order. And the community board should not consider SOS Pro Services as a current tenant. I'm happy to answer any questions.
Thank you.
I do have one question for him.
Please.
I'm just curious, when the order came down and whether there was any sort of appeal or whether we're past the point of appealing any decision.
I would defer actually to the Right.
My counsel is online.
Okay, but who's your
I'm
counsel?
sorry, you had a question for me, madam?
Yeah, did you appeal the decision?
So, my counsel is, she could answer that.
Well, what's your name?
Miss Linda
Baldwin.
Baldwin, yes.
There's currently no appeal docketed in this matter.
So what I just want to say here, though, even though your legal counsel is coming on, just a reminder, Danny, 1 second. We're community board, we're advisory. What our role here is in terms of cannabis is to determine whether or not a applicant is appropriate for our community. Full stop. We're not the ones that are regulating the appropriateness of their application, whether they're gonna comply, et cetera, because we don't have the ability to enforce that. What's being presented to us here sounds like a dispute. Whether or not it's resolved already, as counsel for Danny has mentioned, there's still a dispute that's happening. That is not our role to determine.
We might run from the lumber.
But that's not even in question. It's not our role to determine, and I think that this is my opinion, we can discuss this as the committee. I think that what would be really difficult is for us to justify making any decision in this matter, considering that there is a legal or a potential legal matter that is ongoing. What we can say that we have on record is that we have approved previously a license at this location. It happened to be not the person who's applying for the license at this location tonight. Although we have approved this person at other locations. I really think that this is a little bit too messy, but also out of our purview to opine on, and that's my view. Again, I leave this open to us as a task force and a committee to have that discussion. I know you brought counsel on, but again, I think that we're not going to be discussing whether or not this lease is legal, because that's not our forte, even though there are plenty of lawyers on our community board.
Yeah,
So-
if I may, apologies
you
for
may not.
interrupting.
You may not.
Since we brought it over though, can
Yeah.
so
We should-
Okay, all right, we did bring you over.
Sorry, so
very
I think,
briefly-
would it be
Hold on,
permissible
Alex.
to opine
Hold
as
on,
to
Alex.
whether?
Hold on, Alex, please. Linda, we brought you over just very briefly, just introduce yourself.
Good evening. My name is Linda Baldwin. I'm an attorney representing Hamid Michael Ardebili and SOS Pro Services here. I do know the current status of the new petition that was filed. It is awaiting a decision by the judge whether to sign the order to show cause or not. True, the petition was dismissed, but it was dismissed before because Mojo Working LLC appeared at the hearing and argued that the motion should be dismissed because it was not included in the original petition, which SOS Pro Services couldn't do because they didn't realize that the landlord had signed another lease until it was revealed at the hearing. And so that is the reason why the petition was dismissed, and it was now refiled with Mojo Working LLC on the caption, and hopefully the matter will proceed as it should for resolution of SOS Pro Services rights.
Thank you. Okay, so back to the committee. Alan?
I have a question. So this is going back to court, and the court will decide who has legitimate ownership of the lease. Does the judge also indicate who the proprietor who should take over the space at the same time?
Ultimately, yes, but it's gotten very messy because the landlord really shouldn't have signed a second lease while one lease was currently pending. And so
Right.
this could take a little bit of time to resolve, but I firmly believe that, and the judge has said, lockouts with no prior court action are not allowed under state law. And, you know, a landlord can't sign two leases at the same time. So we can all imagine what will happen, but it hasn't happened yet. The case has to proceed.
Just for the record, I take issue with that. Number one, we've not received service of process of any additional petition. We only have the petition that was dismissed. And number two, self-help eviction is permitted under New York law. Notwithstanding these facts, I think it's proper, at least for Mr. Kogan, to present his business plan.
Exactly.
You don't have to.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, Senator.
I think I agree with your earlier statement that we do not know the outcome of the court will be, but I think it's reasonable to say that we have approved this location before, and we've approved the applicant before for other locations, but we're not going to make an approval or disapproval because we don't know the outcome of the court case.
Any other thoughts, Alan?
Just curious, and I don't know if you can answer this question, I really should be asking it, but is there a difference in the rent?
Same price.
I believe that actually Mojo Working LLC is paying significantly more rent than the prior tenant was contractually obligated to pay.
Okay, thank you.
Tina,
We now have a letter that we approved for this exact location.
correct. Correct.
So I don't understand how we would even approve a second letter, send in a second letter for something that's already.
So that's what I am suggesting, is that we take no opinion. Because I do not think that it is helpful for us to get in the middle of a legal matter when we are an advisory, and our role is just to determine whether an applicant is appropriate in a particular location for our community. Rodney, you had something you were thinking.
No, but my question would have been to Danny. I just wanted to hear more about this partnership. Just because I remember the last time you came, it was more questionable, meaning you were willing to take over someone's thing, and I remember you saying like, everyone's doing it. Is that this, so that's,
I'm taking the control, like, it's like a silent partner, I don't know where,
yeah.
I'm running the store, basically. Cause the other person is like a landscaper. So he's like in another, he's in New York, but I think a couple hours away. So I always run the store. I'm basically running the store.
Jesse,
Yeah, thank you. I'm sorry, I didn't interrupt.
No, you're good.
And if there's other questions, I would just say I agree with Dolores. I would to agree with Dolores for an additional reason. Is that because the complication here to me for this body right now, also in addition to all the court case stuff, is that when SOS originally came to us, the question about the proximity was unclear. And if you remember, you guys decided, because it's unclear, we're not gonna get involved in saying, we don't really know, right? OCM has to make that decision, right? After that, subsequent to our recommendation of approval, OCM made their decision, and it is now requiring a waiver, right? This gentleman got his waiver. By making a decision on approval of a new applicant, you guys would be then, de facto saying you're okay with less than 1,000 feet, which is a new direction that this body would be taking. I think that deserves a lot more conversation and decision-making than right now to say that. So I would just throw that out there. It's another reason why I think this is a little bit more complicated than just, whether we.
so as you're aware, I cannot make a motion, but I have made very clear what my position is. But I am open to discussion if anyone feels differently, or if we should be moving in a different direction.
Motion,
Okay, Mr. Mushy.
motion to write a letter that indicates that we do not feel comfortable proving or disproving at this time, given the pending litigation. But we have approved location, we have approved this location before, so we do not have a concern with the location per se.
And
Apologies, can I enter a motion?
no,
No, not right now. Can I make one, what we're saying is an administrative letter, so we're not looking for a board letter.
Yeah, right, you're right, that makes more sense.
We're taking no.
I think we just acknowledge the obvious, which is that we have approved this
We
location and this
acknowledge the
applicant
facts.
before,
But we're taking.
but we're not taking a stance
I
on this
understand.
current
So
application.
what Sanford is saying is we are not taking a position on this application, but we are providing in the administrative letter the background on the location and the applicants.
Yes,
Is that correct?
yeah,
Okay.
we have approved them as well, that's what it's.
Yes, we did.
We approved them at that location.
Okay, yeah, so we've approved the
So,
location and we've approved
yes,
the
yes,
SOS and Danny at a different location as well,
Yes.
so.
Across the street.
yes, okay. So,
Second.
the second, okay, all those in favor? Okay.
Done.
So we're not taking. Thank you for your time, both, Mr. Tilken and, Ms. Baldwin. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry,
Good evening.
yes.
Alright.
Okay, so any new business?
Yes,
Yes,
Brian's online.
yay. That's right, we didn't put it officially on the agenda, did we? Oh,
Under new business.
Hold on one second. And then back.
Appreciate it.
Okay, just, you raised your hand, did you have a question or?
I could sit and say after.
Okay,
Okay.
Brian, you're on, if you can hear us.
Hi, Brian.
I'm not gonna be talking about who's open.
No. We're talking.
Brian, can you hear us?
Right now, I'm sitting.
Brian stepped out.
He said, Brian, he's having, issues with the.
Oh, he's having issues,
Yeah,
okay.
just-
Oh, I saw you on mute for a second, Brian. Maybe should stop.
First time.
You could, oh, we stopped.
I don't know.
Hi, Brian.
Hi, everybody.
We can hear you.
Great.
And you are?
I'm Brian Sloan. I am a member of CB4. Hi, Rodney. Thanks for the wave. Let me just get my notes up here. Sorry, I had to restart my browser, so I don't.
Oh, okay. No, take your time. Take your time.
I should use Google.
I think that's why I'm having browser issues. They don't seem to like Zoom. I wanted you all to know that there is a licensed shop called the Alchemy that is on, I think it's 302 8th Avenue at 25th Street. And I've sent Jesse a bunch of the materials as well as Rodney, and they have absolutely blanketed my neighborhood with advertising, which I don't think is allowed.
It's not.
Yeah, they've done all over the garbage cans, all over the streets. You know, those sort of nylon things you can't get off of the streets. Everywhere. So I sent all the photos to Rodney and Jesse, but just wanted you to know that that's happening. This happened again. This happened the first time, I think, in the spring, early summer, and it's happened again. So my hope is I don't know. It's your committee, but it'd be great to sort of tell them, like, you know, I have kids. I don't need my kids walking through the neighborhood seeing, you know, to Chelsea with love, come visit with this coupon code for a discount.
Brian, I'm happy to give an update. So Brian did email Rodney, I think, and Rodney then, or I was on that email, I can't remember exactly. So I first of all contacted the applicant. And if you guys remember these guys, they had come a while ago. This was early on, and I was frustrated with this particular action because they had claimed, if you remember, they had so much experience
Yeah.
with this industry and the legislation and the history there, and they promised that they were going to be
Good neighbors.
good neighbors. And so and they claimed ignorance that this is happening, so they said that they'd get right on it. I also contacted OCM, so OCM is following up appropriately with their enforcement. Then I also contacted sanitation department, who's in charge of, would be in charge of enforcing things like putting it on, city property. So what to me is overly, just say, you can get into all of it, is that they have these poster size stickers that they're putting on the better bins, which is like mind-blowingly dumb, because you're like, it'd be one thing if you're posting it on like the side of a building or the sidewalk shed, but this is city property on the property of the agency that is going to enforce it automatically. So I'm not really sure whoever was doing it, I'm sure it was not the brains of the operation. So, but
Or maybe
like,
it was.
but so anyway, I feel like we've definitely done outreach. We've heard back that they're gonna enforce, in terms of getting it off these the lampposts and the letter bins. I don't know the answer to that, but in terms of like when that's gonna happen, how does that happen, who does it, I don't know. So, but it has certainly been responded to in terms of the adjacent enforcement, and I hope OCM comes down on this guy's heart, because I think it's really egregious.
So, just overall, this is anecdotal, but I think that the industry has struggled so much that we mixed in a lot of bad actors with good intentions. But not everyone's behaving well, and you see it, and you definitely see that they're desperate for sales, and people are trying to be creative with their advertising. This is not New York City, but I will just share this. Before Halloween, a cannabis shop in White Lake, New York, had a 10-foot high skeleton that was lit up, and it was holding a blunt, right? And this was its advertising. The month before, they had one of those blow up things. So,
My kid loves those.
right, but when it's an actual marijuana bud and it says marijuana, that's wrong. OCM is clearly overwhelmed and not paying attention to these things. I think that the more we make noise, the better we can probably do. I think that this warrants not only Jesse doing the work that he does by actually getting on the phone and speaking to them, but I think this needs to be publicly noted, as well as bringing in other agencies around besides OCM, even though it is a legally licensed shop. Advertising on public property is, you know, why wouldn't anybody allow that for any type of business, right? And much less one that is providing a product that is for adults only. And like Brian said, your children should not be exposed to cute little invitations with a code to get something, right? That can be potentially harmful. So I really think that we need to memorialize this and have something that goes out so that we are documenting that we would like to see enforcement and also cooperation across whatever agencies possible to prevent this type of exploitation. Advertising for this product. I don't know how you guys feel about it.
Could I add one more note to this?
Yes, please, Brian.
I was walking home from Union Square. I think I was walking home on 18th Street. I think that they are, if I 18th between 5th and 6th on the south side of the block, I think that they are trying to open up another location. It was the same font. I think it also said Alchemy or something. So just FYI, I think that I don't know if that's hit your radar. Maybe it's an old sign, but I think they're trying to expand to another location.
That's interesting, okay. That's not us though, right?
No, it is 18
It's between 5th and 6th.
between
Fifth and sixth, it's one block over.
Yes, you're right, that is not us.
Yeah, I mean, they were already a like chain.
Right.
A two-store chain, and of course, because it can't be the same owner, it was like kind of a
That's right.
manager, but not an owner of the previous store, was gonna become the majority owner of this location.
That's
But
right.
but yes, they do seem to be like.
So
oh,
Ryan, I
and
think
a
you're
chain like that.
probably right, I think that they're trying to replicate what they have in other locations. But thank you for that information, because Community Board 2's Cannabis Committee is very active. Perhaps we could find out some information from them if somebody's going before their board for a license, as they shared information with us for folks coming to our community looking for a license. So thank you for providing that additional information. Okay, so you guys already, I'm being more vocal than normal about what I want, what I would like to see, and I apologize for that.
It's your comeback.
That's right.
You heard how
Well
well,
played, chairs.
you heard how well I did in your absence, so you really wanna make it proud, but.
Free to take
No,
over.
no, I'm not, but yeah, you're back.
No, and I apologize for that, but I think that, I think with the previous one, that was very clear. That my concern, and I wanted to make sure to say, in this case, I think Brian or any other parent should not have to.
Yeah.
Endure, if we've actually said we're okay with legal cannabis, to then see bad actors like this, that
right.
that put everyone at risk, including those that are they're pro this industry, it puts the industry at risk too, these bad actors, so hopefully you guys can propose a motion.
I do, just a question for Jesse. Has the applicant attempted to take any of these down? I mean, if I were them and I heard, you know.
I don't know.
And I felt
I
that
don't know the
enforcement
answer.
was
The one
coming
I-
up with.
the literally come down. It's very, the great thing about it, unfortunately, is that it's right on the corner.
Yeah,
So if you wanna go to 8th Avenue and 30th Street,
Yeah.
we can walk all there together and see if they took it down yet. As of last night, they
Have
have
we,
not taken it down.
like asked them to?
I actually am weary of doing that because it's city property. And I kind of want it to be done by someone who knows what they're doing and just some, if they put the same level of effort into putting it up. Then I'm afraid they're gonna tell someone to take it down and rip it down and it's gonna be like half on and half off. I'm more annoyed that it's just, we've been pushing for better bins for like literally 5 years and we get them and they are just covered in this gigantic sticker. It's just so frustrating.
Oh, it's
So,
like a sticker. Okay.
it's enormous. It's like,
It says giant.
Yeah, I know, I heard
Yeah.
that, but that, it's not gonna be not easy to get it off.
no, I don't want. I don't want.
Yeah, I didn't want like help.
So, I mean, it's also, there's a lot of other stickers on there, just to be clear, it's not like they're the only ones, so, but they're the only licensed cannabis
Yeah.
store that's doing
And
it.
they have the biggest sticker.
Yeah, and they have a gigantic sticker, so I mean, it's egregious, so, I think it's right, I think, this is becoming the new thing they have to worry about, which is that this is similar to what BLP has to deal with too, right? It's, everybody has an idea when they come to BLP about their restaurant or bar, and then guess what, when they start opening their restaurant or bar, it's what really gets the dollars in that matters. And so then if it's karaoke and you promise no karaoke, but guess what, karaoke's making the money, you're gonna go do this, so this is clearly the QR code, stuff is the new way of helping them get this business, and the way of doing that is plastering it everywhere, and that's just not, they should know better. They certainly do know better, and
And we need to be
these-
saying something about it.
yeah, we should, and then we should call these guys out, because I think it's,
Well, the thing is to get the community involved in some way, CCBA or Hell's Kitchen Group. Or maybe something, if you want to take on the fact that people are gonna call you, hey, Jack, Jesse, you'll get 1 million emails on it. Or maybe through a resource list that you send out, or a newsletter or something, maybe a short blurb, with, form that we use for complaining, which you do, I think, send it out.
yeah, we can certainly think about doing that, I think it would be helpful to send a letter out.
I was just understanding, what are you proposing, Alan, that we send out one to the?
Well, CCBA is gonna be meeting next Monday, I'll be there, and I'm gonna bring it up.
Okay.
People should keep their eyes open and, send something over to CB4.
Oh, great, no,
But we
great,
should do something that, kind of spreads out.
understood, I thought you were looking for the community board to write to all block associations,
No.
I misunderstood.
Well,
Yeah.
Maybe in reverse.
We could easily create a complaint form and have our own QR code. And we just won't stick it on sanitation,
Actually,
property.
the complaint form that we use needs to be jazzed up a little bit, needs to be fixed up. So,
No, we don't have it, we currently don't have one for cannabis.
Cannabis.
well,
We don't, we know.
referring to the one for we don't have anything for, to go to a different committee.
BLP?
Yeah,
No, we have a
we have one.
we have a policy and a procedure, but we don't have a complaint form. We don't do it that way. So I think if you're gonna do it that way, we can think about that. But I do think maybe reminding people, I just think maybe a reminder of what the rules are, so they don't just assume walking down that a licensed cannabis store can do that.
Right, right.
And they can be like, wait a second, that's not, not everybody knows the rules and not everybody thinks about it. And they've been beaten in their head that cannabis is legal now, so maybe they think it's
Yeah, I mean,
fine.
most of them
So-
have A-frames.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Most of them have A-frames outside their stores.
My opinion would be like, if this task force chooses to do a letter, I think you guys are probably, I think with that letter is the thing that we sort of get that letter out, and we can use that as our, engine to then say to people, to the community, if you're seeing this, here, reminder, here's the rules, here's what's not allowed. If you're seeing this, please.
Who is the letter going to?
So first off, we have to have a motion for it.
Okay.
But if we wrote a letter, who would it go to?
The letter would need to go to OCM, one, but I do think we do need to be thoughtful about who else we send the letter to.
Could we not send it to all of the just legal dispensaries in our neighborhood as a reminder, these are the things, so.
Okay.
That's a great idea.
I copy them.
Let's be active to
That is,
tell everyone, we're watching this.
that,
You don't have to call anyone out, but look, these are some of the things we've seen.
well, Well, so here's, I love where you're going, but I think we need to separate that out. One, we need to be talking about this specific alchemy.
Okay.
Alchemy is doing something they should not be doing at all in any way, shape, or form, needs to be called out. I think your idea additionally to write a reminder letter to those that we've approved that are actually operating to say. Reminder to be a good neighbor, you're following your OCN rules, but additionally. We have noted, people had doors open, we've had music, these
Yeah,
are things that,
That's
you
good.
know,
Oh, yeah.
these are things that. While we cannot police, they definitely do not give us the faith of your operation after we've given you an approval, blah, 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 blah. So I do think that that's helpful
Okay.
as a reminder, but I think with the task at hand, what Brian is bringing to us is a specific operator who's being egregious.
Matt, I do
Yes,
think if we send something to like all of them. I'd like to be somewhat focused. I mean, there's a lot of things that. I mean, realistically, every business in New York, there's a lot of, it's probably not in compliance with some rule, and. There's some things that are. Maybe lower priority for us, like moderate volume music, which is probably not even allowed in the street versus. Like, this is egregious, and I think really priorities like. Don't get in your head that like, this was a successful business idea that drew lots of customers, we should try it too. Like, no advertising on telephone poles, on trash cans, on any city property. I would focus on that over the other, like if there are some other things you're particularly concerned about.
well, we
I
have.
think signage is
We
one,
have, we have made specific.
but I would
plans.
rather than like listing every possible offense.
I'm fine with that.
I would rather have a focus list of here's the things that are actually gonna, that are major concerns to me or that are major concerns to the community.
I think that's fine, but I do think that the amplified music outside has been a systemic issue with a couple places that we know.
Okay.
One place that we've had to like chase down and eventually get, another place that we, so I do think if we're gonna focus on two things that I think clearly do impact the community. And that we have record on of complaints about, I think those would be two, that I think.
The lights, the,
The neon, the signage.
yes.
Then like neon lights,
Yeah, they're not supposed to have that. I-
yeah, I know, I mean, I think that would be fair, like neon lights and flood music and.
And.
I mean, I'm
and-
fine with doing what you all want,
Right.
I'm fine with adding as many as you want, but I get it.
But I would just suggest like a focus list.
I get that.
No, and then that makes sense, but Ron, you had.
So what, are we talking two letters?
Yes.
Okay, good. One for the general sort of, we're watching, thank you, blah, 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 and then one for.
Okay, so can I get a motion on
Neighborhood
something?
is watching.
Tina, a motion on.
Second.
Wait, let me.
She can say anything now, you just said.
I like Tina.
So Tina's motion is to address what Brian brought up, which is alchemy of putting advertising for their establishment around the neighborhood, including on New York City property. And we are going to call that out. That letter is going to OCM. I think we also should be copying DSNY because they're the ones
Yeah,
who
nice.
cleaned up. And we can think about, Jesse, maybe we can think about over the next couple days of if we want to CC. Even though they're legal, the sheriff's office, I mean, I'm not really sure. Yeah, and CC our elected officials, because Brian, I think our elected officials need to know. That the legal ones in our district, if they're not behaving, they need to also be in the fight to help us clean this up. Okay. And there was a second?
Oh, yeah, second.
Okay, all those in favor? All right, great.
I have one piece of
And hold
business, so.
we've got a second letter.
Okay, second.
Oh, I thought we just voted on both of them. Oh,
No,
my
this
bad.
this was for Brian. Thank you, Brian, for being diligent and hopefully we can stop this quickly. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
go scrape them off right after this meeting around the corner. No, just kidding.
Yeah,
We can't do that, but thank you, Brian.
Yeah, bye-bye.
alright, I would make a motion to write the second letter. To the legal cannabis shops we have approved. Reminding them of the rules and saying they have particular concerns with. Like QR code based paper advertisements. Placed around the district, including on city property, amplified music and.
Neon
Neon
lights.
lights.
So, great, perfect. And
Yeah.
second,
Second.
all those
So
in
if
favor?
there's a link, if OCM has a list of
Of
what not to do.
But this is,
Wait.
I want it to be, we can give like that, but I do want to be focused on like.
I,
OCM regulations are thousands of pages,
Well-
here's what we really care
well, here,
about.
we can do both, we
Oh,
can
yeah.
send a link.
Yeah.
They, in the letter, could be a link
No bother, what I
to
mean.
remind them of the rules, but saying what are specific concerns that we've noted in
What
the
we're seeing.
community.
We get
Are
those,
are the three that you mentioned.
Okay.
Okay, we had a second, all those in favor? Okay. Do we have anyone in the attendees that have wanted to speak?
I have another question.
And we also have another matter to bring up.
I do.
Sorry,
Okay,
before
Rodney.
you go. Will someone reach out to community board too?
I will,
Oh, okay.
yeah, I have her contact information.
Is that 2 or is that 5?
Oh, shoot.
I think it's 5.
Is it fine?
18th and 18th between 5th and 6th, 7th, commissioners fine.
Oh, it's been six.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
8, 5, 2 is south.
Okay, so you're gonna have to get me,
I can get, I mean, I know that.
I don't know who's doing cannabis in file, I mean,
Yeah,
I know they're district
I had
manager.
a district manager too. I don't know if they had the same level
I,
of
I,
passion that CG2 has.
so you,
I will.
thanks, okay, all right, okay.
Good.
Jesse, new business?
So this is just a, you know, we're at a milestone. We are getting our first notice of renewal for our cannabis, for licensed cannabis. So I just want to, yeah.
You guys.
Yes, we've been around so long that they're coming back. And so I just want to talk about this for a moment. So what happens in BLP? So just to give you an example of what we do with other similar licenses, right? We go through the process of reviewing the new application, the new license application. You guys make a determination, and that gets sent off to SLA. Let's just say it gets approved. They go into business, they've been doing their business for 2 years, and then they have to send a renewal. What we do with the renewals in BLP world, in liquor license world, is we post them every month, if you notice on our full board report. So when the full board notice goes out next week, you're gonna see a list of, oh, here are the renewals. And why we do that is that, let's just say if an interested party was like, oh, that bar has been driving me nuts. And we wanna keep track of that and get some communication to the SLA before they just rubber stamp it, which is kind of what they did, right? There's no, they don't have an open hearing like they do for the first time when they apply. And so that's what we do for liquor licenses. I would propose the same thing, but I didn't want to go off and do that without talking to you all, getting an understanding of what you're comfortable with.
So here's my thought. We had a ton of applications. The people who are reapplying will only be people that that received licenses.
That received licenses that have been doing business for like the last 2 years.
So here's the thing, we know that it's not that many. We had a ton of people who applied. We did not have a ton of people who actually have opened. My thought, contrary to yours, Jesse, I'm sorry to be contrary, is just because it's a smaller number and also because we're writing this letter and we want people to be good neighbors. I think it makes sense to have them come back, have that conversation. Also, the landscape has changed in the last 2 years. We have a lot of illegal shops that have been closed. People understand a little bit more the difference, whatever. But it also could be an opportunity as being a partner in the community to understand what are the concerns and what are the issues that are driving their business that they're trying to build. So that we can be better informed about how we ask questions of new applicants or in other areas, et cetera. But it also could be a way to nip in the bud any type of issues, complaints, or concerns by reviewing it again. That's my thought. Tina?
I mean, I like the thought, my only question is, what happens if we ask them to come back and they don't come in? How would we deal with that?
I mean, yeah, it's,
That's a great
I mean,
question.
they send like audit when people for initial licenses, someone chooses not to show up or doesn't respond to our emails. We just send it like an administrative,
Yeah.
like denial letter, which just says, applicant did not
Didn't
show
pay.
up.
They didn't show up,
We cannot
you
recommend
know,
that.
we can't support them at this, you know, we
Yeah.
can't support them at this time.
And we already
So-
know the OCM that's not paying attention to whether we say yes or no anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
But that's
I don't
on,
think
that's on the
so.
first go round, they have to come in here.
No, that's.
When they're applying,
Well, yes, technically,
technically they have to come.
technically they
So
have to, but
technically,
we've
if
seen
you
ones
turn them
approved.
down,
We've
they're not-
seen ones
they're not
approved
showing
that
up.
were-
Eighth Avenue, yeah,
Yeah.
that Flintstone.
that
Technically,
didn't come.
they don't have to come in, they don't have to come in with the move.
no,
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 but we can
they don't have,
invite
they didn't have to come in the
So
first.
that's a
So,
question
um,
for the committee,
yeah.
do we wanna go the route where we already do the BLP, where it's already listed, if somebody wants to have a conversation, we have the conversation? Or do we wanna invite whoever's renewing to come actually be on our agenda?
Well, I think you can do it in a very pleasant way somewhat. So if you, like a DLP, there's no problems, you're gonna renew it. If there's been a history of it, or if you start to get some phone calls, not gonna get phone calls, but if there's big complaints, then you wanna ask them to come in, let's discuss this situation. We have some people from the community who wanna work with you on this, and we'll do it. And that's your second invitation rather than a demand.
In demand, okay, so it's sort of a hybrid of what Jesse's proposing.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I don't think we'll have, like you said, there's so few, and and the ones that, because of that, they built, you guys had FaceTime with them. They've been there, I would find it to be few and far between people not showing up at all. I do think that we don't really have teeth, let's say, on demanding they show up and all of that, so, and I don't necessarily know in terms of timing also. What the timing is around, so, you know, in terms of like, you know, how much time we have
Before full board.
yeah, before full board, or even before like the renewal list gets approved, like I don't, you know, I don't know that yet, it's a new world for me on this one. So I do think if we invite them, if you, the ones that I'm talking about, by the way, is the very first ones you guys approved, which is that father-son team.
Yeah.
Remember that?
23rd.
On 23rd Street?
Vera.
Yeah, Verdi, yeah, so it's like, that's
That's
what we're
with the
talking
music
about.
coming in,
So what?
that's with the music coming out, the dinner's over.
Oh, that one?
Right up for Seventh Avenue,
No,
No,
It's 23rd.
it's right here over Seventh.
Okay, I don't know what the.
Yeah, very something.
It's like going.
So anyway,
It'll be going on.
I think we can do, I think we can, if that's what you wanna do, we can make an invite.
Yes.
I think we just have to understand that like, if they don't choose to come or whatever, but we also, I mean, I think if obviously there's clearly a complaint there. But I think the understanding that what we're asking them to do is to come in and tell us how it's going.
Right.
And here, and if we've got issues
we
that,
have to be, if the community board is not part of the renewal process, period. If
yeah,
they're not required to go to the community board, we're just inviting them to have a conversation,
Right.
we don't have to be writing a letter at
right,
all.
I don't think
Because
we
they won't
would.
need it, it would just be more of having a touch point with the business.
Yeah, and all of them, I'm sure, during the first interview, said they would be good neighbors and be willing to come back and stay in contact. So let's hold them to it, and if they don't. I like Sanford, that said something, said we don't like them.
Alright, and I think from my experience, I think most applicants have had a nice experience here.
But
For the most part, I mean, they walked out, no, I mean, they're happy they got
or they
approved.
approved.
The ones that
But
are-
I think
There's plenty that's been-
it's been a give and take, and I think most of them walked out feeling good that, you know, they did what they had to do, and they have the backing of a committee and a community board, so. You know, it's on Zoom, they don't have to rush down here, you know, wherever we're going to be next time,
We'll be at 44th Street, right?
yeah.
Right? Soon,
So it's November?
what,
just
when are
saying.
you moving?
No, you're talking about when our next meeting is?
No.
No, when we move.
When are you moving?
Oh, I mean, we hope to be in by January.
Yay, I love it, it's closer to me.
I hate it, it's not close to me.
44th.
Alright, let's close this loop.
Anyway.
Alright, so again, we're inviting Verdi for to 7. Is what we're doing. Okay.
So I would did you want to address something?
I just wanted to say one last thing before I say goodnight. May I?
Yes, please.
Madam Chair, Mr. Bodine, Board, thank you so much for your consideration. I will fight this with the life of me. I put all my saving and my time, I've taken money from my family and invested in here. Although this location now has been approved, the PCA by the PCA waiver. The PCA waiver only applies to my And not to any other entity.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much.
All right, so do I have another motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second,
All those in favor?
thank you.
All right, meeting is over.
This is the.